The Pine and the Mind. 1. The pine is the tree of Aquarius. The pine is the tree of the New Age. It is the sign of Aquarian thought. 2. The elemental of the pine possesses all the wisdom of the reed. This elemental has an immaculate white aura and is filled with beauty. 3. Each pine has its own elemental because every plant and every tree has body, soul, and spirit like the human being. 4. The igneous powers of the elemental of the pine burn within the blazing flames of the universe. 5. The angel who governs the elemental populations of the pine works with human generation. 6. This angel's responsibility is to deliver the corresponding environment to the human souls in each reincarnation, in accordance with the karmic laws. 7. The elemental of the pine has the power to show future events in the water. 8. The officiant, dressed with his tunic, will ask an innocent child to fix his sight upon a container filled with water. 9. A stone must be placed in the doorway of the temple throughout the entire duration of the rite. 10. The child must be dressed with a white tunic. 11. This rite of the pine must be performed in our subterranean temples or in a cave of the forest. 12. Every child is clairvoyant during the first 4 years of his life. 13. If our disciples want to awaken divine clairvoyance, they must reconquer their lost infancy. 14. The atoms of infancy live submerged in our interior universe, and it is necessary to self-awaken them towards new activity. When these atoms of infancy emerge from within the profundity of the consciousness, in order to reappear in our objective and secondary system, we then reconquer our lost infancy, and the result is the awakening of divine clairvoyance. We can make these atoms of infancy rise from within the profundity of the consciousness to the exterior surface by means of the verb. 16. The blessed and venerable Guru Viracocha spoke to us about the sacred verb of the light through his book Logos, Mantra, Magic. He told us that we must begin articulating little by little, as a child does when he begins to say Mama. 17. In this book, the Master Viracocha tells us about the marvelous power of the vowel M. Yet because this great master wrote in codes, only the initiates understand him. 18. Whosoever wants to reconquer his lost infancy must again begin vocalizing these infant-like syllables. 19. The words mama, papa must be vocalized, stressing the tone on the first syllable of each word and lowering the tone on the second syllable of each word. 20. The mind must assume a completely infant-like attitude during this practice. 21. Thus divine clairvoyance will awaken in our disciples with the condition that they must be in the most perfect chastity. 22. During the rite of the pine, the officiant must lie down on the floor while the child observes the surface of the crystalline water. 23. The officiant must then vocalize the syllable ow several times. 24. A pine branch must be placed hanging above the head of the child. This branch must shade the child's head, but it must not touch the child's head. 25. The child will clairvoyantly see the desired place. 26. It is sufficient to order the child to see, and the child will see. 27. The elemental of the pine must be commanded with strength so that he can show to the child the person, place, or situation that we are interested in. 28. The help of the Holy Spirit must also be sought during this ritualistic work of the pine. 29. Our disciples must change the process of reasoning for the beauty of comprehension. 30. The process of reasoning divorces the mind from the innermost. 31. A mind divorced from the innermost falls into the abyss of black magic. 32. Reasoning is a crime of great magnitude against the innermost. 33. All of the great rationalists are inhabitants of the abyss. 34. Reasoning divides the mind in the battle of antithetic concepts. 35. Antithetic concepts convert the mind into a battle camp. 36. The battle of antithetic concepts causes the mind to be divided and converts it into a useless instrument. 37. A divided mind is a useless instrument for the innermost. When the mind is a useless instrument for the innermost, it converts the human into a clumsy and blind being, enslaved by the passions and sensory perceptions of the exterior world. 40. The mind that follows the rambling senses makes the soul as helpless as the boat that the wind leads astray upon the waters. Bhagavad Gita. 40. The great rationalists and intellectuals are precisely the most torpid and passionate beings on earth. 41. The intellectual loses the meaning of a sentence simply because of the lack of a period or a comma. 42. The intuitive knows how to read what the master does not write and how to listen to what the master does not say. 43. The rationalist is totally enslaved by the exterior senses. His soul is as helpless as the boat that the wind leads astray upon the waters. 44. The process of options divides the mind into a battle of antithetic concepts. 45. A divided mind is a useless instrument. 46. When the mind is a useless instrument for the innermost, it is then a useful instrument for the animal ego. 47. The spiritual rationalists are the most unhappy beings on earth. Their minds are completely stuffed with theories and more theories. They suffer horribly when they cannot perform anything based on what they have read. 48. Those poor beings have terrible pride. Thus they commonly end up separating themselves from their innermost and convert into tantric personalities of the abyss. 49. The process of reasoning breaks the delicate membranes of the mental body. 50. Thought must flow silently and serenely with the sweet flow of thinking. 51. Thought must flow integrally without the process of reasoning. 52. There is the need to change the process of reasoning for the quality of discernment. 53. Discernment is direct perception of the truth without the process of reasoning. 54. Discernment is comprehension without the necessity of reasoning. 55. We must change the process of reasoning for the beauty of comprehension. 56. We must liberate the mind from every type of preconception, desire, fear, hatred, school, etc. All of these defects are obstacles that anchor the mind to the external senses. 57. These obstacles convert the mind into a useless instrument for the innermost. 58. The mind must convert itself into a flexible and delicate instrument through which the innermost can express himself. 59. The mind must convert itself into a flame of the universe. 60. The material mind must convert itself into Christ mind. 61. There is the need to control the mind by means of willpower. 62. When the mind aggravates us with useless representations, let us talk to the mind like this. Mental body, take this representation away from me. You are my slave. I am your Lord. Then, like an enchantment, the useless representations that are aggravating us will disappear from our mind. 63. Up to this present moment, the mental body of the human race is found in the dawning of its evolution. 64. We corroborate this affirmation by clairvoyantly observing the physiognomy of the mental body of the human beings. 65. The face of the mental body of almost all of the human beings has an animal appearance. 66. When we observe all of the habits and customs of the human species, we then comprehend why the mental body of most people has an animal physiognomy. 67. The Kundalini of the mental body converts the material mind into Christ mind. 68. When the igneous rose of the larynx of the mental body ardently sparks within the universal flames, the Arhat then speaks the great verb of light within the august brightness of thought. 69. The mind must become completely infant-like. 70. The mind must convert itself into a child filled with beauty. 71. The pine is the